Right, welcome back. So I'm still waiting for my stretching and shrinking tool to turn up. So I am going to attack some of the bits of floor pan that need doing. So we've come down here. Oh, there's a hole here, and further down we've got another hole. So what I want to do is just make up 2 discs, and I should be able to, with my crew tools that I've got, just flange the edge over and do it all nice, and then come here, put them on there, cut round them, and then replace them, and then from underneath that should look pretty stock, I think, rather than digging out the whole floor when I don't think you really need to. So let's get myself set up and cut some discs out, and I'll show you how I do them, and then hopefully that'll inspire you to do your cars maybe. So let's get on with it. Right, was going to use the old verniers to just draw some circles, but this is the fuel tank with one of the caps inside the car, and it's almost quite right. So what I'm going to do is mark around it, and when I cut it out, leave the line in, and that should give me enough. Oh, I don't know if I'm happy with that. No, I'm going to have to, that needs to be bigger, so that's not good enough. Does pay if you put a centre pot mark in it. That'll hold it in a better place, but right, this is my little shear. Oh, I could do with some more bloody light. Oh, that's better. So this may be a bit slower way of doing it, but I'm not having to deafen myself with all the grinding. So you don't have to use the grinder. I can't see the line on that. Cut round to there. And I say, the circle doesn't have to be dead perfect. Who's going to see it? Really, all honesty, once this has been put in, welded and all that, and then it's undersealed, it just looks, hopefully, good as new underneath. That's what we're going for anyway. So even though it's a little bit 50p-ish, it'll be fine. I just want to cut the other one out. I've got a tiny, it's so faint, the line, which I marked on there. I don't know. Oh, that's one done. I will tidy it up with the grinder just to make it more circular. I'll cut the other one out, and then we'll find something just to, and then I shall mark in how far I want to dolly the edge over. So if we mark in 5mm, then I can try and keep 5mm off the edge as I kind of dress it around with a hammer. Alright, give them a quick, not bad, give them a quick fluff up with the grinder, and then I get to dressing them over. Righty ho. So there's my discs. I've cleaned them up with the grinder quickly. So what I learnt from a chippy one day, did I learn it? I just watched them do it. So you could use like an adjustable square to then mark the edge, but I only want 5mm, so I'm pretty good at guessing. So I'll just mark a line round. It don't have to be perfect. And that gives me something to dress the edge over with. And yet again, because my garage is so tidy, I can't find a little block I was going to use. So maybe that. Clamp that in a vise and I can dolly it over that. I think. Well, yeah, that's not too bad. That's one pass around it. You can see in places I've come in too much, but you can't, unless you made something solid to go in there, you could dress it round, which I'm not going to. I think that's pointless, but we'll just keep dressing that round. Right, so here we go. I've made the disc and we've dressed all the edges over. Where it sits on the floor pan, we've got these 4 pieces which have in the floor pan. So I'm going to mark like the 4 notches around the outside, and then we shall trim them with the grinder. Once they're trimmed up, then I can offer it back up and do my final line around the outside of it, cut that with the disc, and then we can get on and weld this bit in, and then hopefully that looks pretty good. Right. So we get a couple of tacks on this, and I think it'd be best if I weld it from the other side, but where these ridges are going that way and that way, I can weld it and then go in the other side and then weld it back through. So that's the plan. Right, so this is the bit where my fuel cap filler is, and I didn't realise how rusty it was, so I'm literally just going to hack it out and then try and make a new one. And you're going to follow me making a new one, but I've never tried to make a panel like this before, so let's get on, cut it out, and see what we can do. I'm going to have a whirl at trying to make a start on making this bit. So I've got myself a big bit of tube over there, so I'm going to cut a bigger piece out than I need and see if I can then dress it in. Well, I don't know, I have to see how far that goes down. It looks like about 5mm. See if I can make that. I'm still waiting for my stretching and shrinking tool to turn up, and it's still not here. That's the joys of living on the Isle of Wight, I suppose. Everything seems to take that little bit longer. So I'm going to go and cut me a piece of metal for that, and see if we can dress that out. I've cut my piece out roughly, but so That's all. So I know I need to do that at some point. Well, that looks, oh right, because anyway, if I'll beat the circle into it first, so although that's not quite a circle, I know that that bit is actually, but that piece there, so, 25 minutes. Right, so I'm just going to mark a bigger circle as a rough guide, and I can see where I can clamp it on my other bit in a minute, and then see what I can do dressing wise. It's roughly about 5mm, so it doesn't seem much, but that's what I need to dress that outer down 5mm, then cut the inner out, and this is obviously where my fuel filler goes through. So let's move over to the bit I've got. Right, so this is just a bit of tube I've picked up, which is roughly I haven't checked it actually, so it's about, inside diameter is about 6 inches or just over 150. Well, it's a little bit smaller. No, it's not. I'm lying, it's bigger. So it's a little bit bigger, so that should be fine. And maybe with the way it dresses in, it might work out about right. So I want to measure to the edge of my circle. Hold on, so that's 10mm-ish. So whether this is the way to do it, I don't know, but this is the way I'm doing it in my garage, so let's see if it works. Got a little bit in it. Not enough. It's doing something, which is bloody brilliant. Yay! Because I've never tried doing this before, so this is quite good. So I'm learning, you're just watch me do something which I've never done. So yeah. So we still got. I'll have to remark that dodgy mark there in a minute. I can mark across and then find the centre, because I've got to peel the other bit. Inwards? Outwards I think, because yeah, I wanted to cut that out and then I should be able to just dress something and peel the other bit over. I'll go and grab. So this is what I'm trying to achieve there, and then I've got to try and peel that bit out, which I don't think that bit out will be too bad, but that still looks like quite a bit more work. That looks like it's nowhere near the middle, which it isn't. Oh, what? Oh dear. Right, I'm gonna mark like a rough radius shape. I've just done a little bit of a scribble there. So I've marked a line there, so I project that way. There's that one. Right, so old rusty piece, that is the bit I've just formed up, so which replicates that shape there, and I needed a little flange on that edge, so that's obviously like that. I'm not quite sure it's enough. I won't be far off, I don't think. Anyway, it's my first attempt, so what's in there at the moment is shrink. So what I'm thinking is that you shrink that edge, which will pull it round, and then I'll have to stretch this edge. So I'll do a couple of passes down there to see if it starts going, then I'm going to have to change these over and then do the other edge. So this is going to take time, won't for you, I will speed it up, but so let's have a go. But do we just need... I'm wondering if we just do it in the smaller area first. Let me grab a pen. Right, so I'm just going to do it between that bit. Oh, whatever. We're going to have a go. Let's try it. Yeah, so you can see that is turning it round. He's cresting it up, but I'm sure we can dolly that down. So maybe I should change the jaws over, because this has got, obviously folding an edges give it some strength, so we need to break the back of that as well. And there's the other set of tooling. Yeah, so it is doing what I thought it would do. That is quite good. Well, that bit's good anyway. Maybe because I've put that into it, that's holding some shape. I have no idea. Right, I'm struggling a little bit with this, so what I want to do is put a few relief cuts in here and see if I can then pull it round a bit more. I think it needs that top bit English wheeling, but I haven't got one, so we shall put some cuts on it. Let's get the old welder out, tap those bits on there, work out where that's going to sit on here. And I was hoping that would be more around there, but here's what it is. we can make this work. So if I weld that up, get that on there somehow. Right, this is all I've had time to do this week is try and do that panel which you've seen me making, and that has taken me hours, and it's still crap. So I can show you what it looks like now. So right, here we go. Right, there you go, that's a bit better of an angle, but this little piece here, oh God, it's terrible. There's me balance. Right, so this bit here, from about that point, oh, let me get you in, from about that point there, needs to come over. So I can do that. You can cut a wedge out of this piece and bring that over a good bit. And I think I'm going to have to cut that bit there and put a new flange on. So if I do that in one piece with my little stretcher and shrinker, that'll pretty much be there, and then that will lift this bit back out because it needs to come up, what, 10 mil? But so yeah, so it's been a struggle this week with this. My stretching and shrinking little tool was late coming, that's held me up quite a bit because that I really need to infill this piece here where the fuel filler is, so I could carry on putting the wheel arch on and the little bit of inner wheel arch which I've got. So that's going to be it for this week. Hopefully I'll get some more progress done in the next week, but I'm having a bit of a break because we're going away. So I have got another video to put up because I've been cutting up the Porsche. If you've been following the channel, I've recut the front bumper. So that video might come out next week while I'm away. Yeah, that's it. So like and subscribe. If you know where to get some of these panels, because I haven't seen any in the UK. I've seen them abroad, but then you've got to pay tax to get them and all that other stuff. So this is the first time. That is the most difficult panel I've ever tried making. Normally, if I've done little bits like this, you could just buy the bits, cut the bits off, and jam the new bits on there, weld them on, job's a good one. But that, proper pain. So yeah, I'll catch you next time.